voice just keeps getting lower. This is a soprano song, so it's going to be fun. I was thinking about what I wanted to say this time around. And for some really weird reason, I kept thinking about my dad. So the song Via Dolorosa is about the road of suffering, Via Dolorosa, that Jesus had to take to be crucified. Show of hands, how many of you think that life is beautiful? Raise it if you think life is beautiful. Okay, there's a majority. That's good, right? There's actually a movie titled Life is Beautiful. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And I watched this last night, and it's pretty sad. And has a lot to do with suffering. If you don't know it, it's a Holocaust story. And throughout the story, this father is constantly trying to bring joy to his son and to shield him from what is happening all around him. When I was 3, I had to confront in a very visceral way the sufferings of the world. My dad was shot outside of my apartment building in a case of mistaken identity. And his anniversary, actually, of passing away, April 15th, 1998, just happened. And I think one of the biggest questions that I had on my mind was, that whole why game. Why? Is this meaningful? Is this purposeful? Have I let him down? Have I let God down? And thinking about Via Dolorosa, I also think about this too. Like, if Jesus sacrificed his life, his perfect life for me, am I worthy? The answer is obviously no. But it doesn't make it any easier while you're wrestling with it. These two things really make me think about that question, why suffering? And I think what I've come to find is that indeed life is beautiful amidst the suffering. There's a beautiful image that I'd like you to keep in your heads right now. That the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed. I was talking about this in Spain, actually, on a missions trip recently. But the fact that a seed, in order to grow, has to die first. And this beauty of a tree, this life, can spring from death. And that death and suffering and the things that we go through can be used, can be redeemed by God in such a masterful and beautiful way that often we can't comprehend, to bring about beauty, to bring about love, to bring about joy. And even in the midst of suffering, that we can find an oasis. And so as you listen to Via Dolorosa, I'd like you to think about the suffering that Jesus had to go through, but also how he chose to do that out of love for you and for me.
Those who cried out for him. Down the Via Dolorosa called the way of suffering, like a lamb king, the Messiah, Christ the King. And he chose to walk that road out of